Well, hello there, everyone, as we've got another day of racing here in the NSSR series of racing. This time, the USA trucks will take to the field here at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. And, of course, with every truck series, we've got our Sprint Qualifier to start. On the front row, we've got Taden Berggren and a newcomer, Wilt Turner, starting on the pole here in the number 11 driving for TSI. Then you've got Cannon Gage and Jacob Shangle, followed by Jessica Hergeson and David Bird, Santi Messi and Chips, Reggie Fogelman and the 46 of Craig Popcrass, the 95 of Anheuser Wagner, the 83 of Nate Gonzalez, the 54 of Revan Bush, the 49 of Chasey Plays. Then you've got JD Arrington and Matias Nunez, Brian Clark and Charlie Chippington, Gannon Bird and driver Luke, Kat Durham and Luke West, Nelson Morrison and Kenyon Hall, Luke Smith and William Kinsella Jr., Josh Drake and Fireball Robert, Roland Heidfeld and Adam Kraus, and then at the very back, Daniel Paulus and the 88 of Noah Hobson.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
And with only 7 transferring from the Sprint Qualifier, it looks like our top 7 as is would be Taden Berggren, Will Turner, Cannon Gage, Jacob Shangle, David Bird, Jessica Hergeson, and Santi Messi. A lot of that's going to change going into turn 1 here, as these guys carry a lot of speed going into turn 1. The long downhill stretch here at Kyalami is a glorious sight to behold as they come barreling into turn 1. With the lead, Will Turner over Jacob Shangle, David Bird, Taden Berggren, Chips, Cannon Gage in 6th, it looks like. And last of the transfer spots belonging to Jessica Hergeson until Craig Popcrass is trying to fight her for that position. It's going to take him a couple laps to get sorted out here, and with only 11 laps, you're going to want to get moving up to the front as quick as possible. As you can see, Craig Popcrass settles in right there behind Hergeson. And coming to the start-finish line this time by, it looks like Jessica Hergeson's going to hold that transfer spot. All in the meantime, newcomer Will Turner out front leading. It's looking like some of the folks that are going to have a hard time making it into the main event tonight Nate Gonzalez, Reggie Fogelman, Matias Nunez, Anheuser Wagner, Kat Durham. They've got their work cut out for them here with only about 10 laps to go in the sprint qualifier. TSI will be proud to have at least one guy making it to the main event alongside their rest of the field. It's what makes this truck series so grueling. If you're not going to be in the top 35 in points, you're going to have to do really good here in these sprint qualifiers to make it to the main event each week. Going into turn one, it looks like Jacob Shangle driving it in hard. Gonna give the rookie a little bit to work on here as that 64 truck takes the lead on lap 3. Taden Berggren definitely lurking in the background there, would love to turn around his fortunes here in the truck series. He's only made one attempt out of all the sprint qualifiers he's been in this year. He has not been able to get out of the sprint qualifier, the hole that it's been dragging him down into here. His one start came at the season opener in Fontana, and with the field continuing to grow as rapidly as it has, fighting for 7 spots in the sprint qualifier has gotten harder and harder to come out on top. Looks like Jessica Hergeston still holding down that last transfer spot in the number 40 HER entry. Cannon Gage, this could be his first ever start in the USA Truck Series if he pulls it off here today. You gotta feel bad for some of these drivers that have been in the bottom of the barrel here. Haven't quite implemented it yet, but going into the next race, I would like to implement a new rule that'll give drivers that are outside a chance to make a start each week. So technically a wild card spot if you must. And that wild card spot will be dedicated to drivers that have not made a full-time start yet, and we'll work them in until there's no more drivers that have not made a start. Then we'll look at the rest of the top 35 in groups of like A, B, C, D, and E, and each week we'll spin for a driver that's locked in on a draw. The bubble spots heating up here as Craig Popkris is driving right there on the tail of the 40 truck. As we're just shy of halfway here in the sprint qualifier, she's going to have to look out and hope that Popkris doesn't make a move on her. Ooh, David Bird's losing a spot there to Cannon Gage as things are getting heated for the top 6 positions to battle here. Will Turner still holding on to second. Tadenberger in third. Chips in fourth. Cannon Gage with the top 5 right now. David Bird in sixth. And then Jessica Hergeston under attack by the 46. And we've got a caution on track, it looks like. Ooh, the 79 of James Robert. Looks like he got in a wreck here. Oh, we had another caution. The caution had already... Okay, so we got to figure out when the caution starts. Still green. Still green. Still green. There we go. Caution right there. So who was involved in the wreck? Might have been that 35 of Cat Durham, as I don't see anyone else out of sorts. 35 of Cat Durham. Oofty, yeah, he got spun out going into the turn there. Spins him right into the wall. Bam! Kenyon Hall wrecks Cat Durham here on lap 5 of 11. And we even saw the 79 of James Robert make contact with the wall, so things are a little bit chaotic here. Let's see how that came out. Oh, he just overdrove it going into the turn there. Kissing that wall, under caution even. So this should make things very interesting, as we're technically going to have a shootout to the finish of this sprint qualifier. Positions remain unchanged right now, except for Chasey Plays got by Craig Popgris. And wonder if they made pit stops. No. He just made a pass on the start-finish line there, putting himself that one notch closer to transferring in. Man, that's crazy. I can't believe he just got on the inside of him there, and under caution, once they race back to the line like they do in NR 2003, Chasey Plays makes that position up, and things still are going to be very interesting when they get double filed up for the restart here. Next time by, the lights should turn off on the pace truck. We'll get a restart on lap 8 of 11. And your top 7 right now, you might be careful locking them in at the moment, because things could get very chaotic here. Double file restarts tend to cause more commotion than anything. And we've already seen how hard they're pushing it here today to try and work their way into the main event. Regardless of the end results here, it's pretty neat to see some new faces at the front, especially a first-time entry in the series. Will Turner with his first ever start, looking like a good addition to the series. And if he can hold on here, he'll be in the main event with all the big dogs. Yesterday we saw Trevor Walker totally dominate the Busch race, and he's going to be in the truck race today as well. So might be a safe bet to assume that Trevor Walker is going to show up again and put on another clinic here. I do think this truck series carries a little bit more aggression than the Busch series, though, so he better look out that he doesn't get run into. They double file up. Lights on the pace truck are off. Pace truck's going to pull in here, and we're going to get back to racing with 3 laps to go here at Kyalami. And there's no telling how this is going to turn out going into that first turn. As they wait for the flag to wave, field bunches up here, and they're off and running. It's looking like Will Turner gets a good start there, as he has a nose in front of Jacob. Going into turn 1. Wow, Taden Bergeron's given Jacob quite the push there. As Jacob will maintain the lead, Taden Bergeron up to second now. And Taden Bergeron wants to try and take the lead away. David Bird on the bubble now as Taden Bergeron looking to take the lead away. Still fighting for that lead pretty hard. Jacob fighting back on the outside. Can engage up to fourth. Chips back to fifth. Oh, and Taden Bergeron had to give up the lead there as Jacob settles back in and even losing another spot here potentially to the 11 truck. Our bubble spot has turned around a little bit. Right now it is David Bird fighting for his life as he's holding it off from Craig Popgris. Chasey Plays seems to have got a bad restart on that previous restart as he's dropping way back on the pace. And if we get another caution here, we will have a green-white checker. We will try to attempt and make this race end under green flag conditions. So every attempt will be made. Ooh, and Popgris makes the pass there on David Bird. This will put him into a transfer spot. Can engage on the outside now, losing traction. Oh, and he hit the 46. This is very close call there as he came back into the racing line and nearly collided with the 96 of David Bird. But they continue going without any caution or wreck. David Bird better be counting his lucky stars that that one didn't end badly. Heck, even Can Engage consider buying a lotto ticket after that move. That could have ended the day for him. So we've got 2 laps to go now. This last transfer spot still very volatile, as even Reggie Fogelman is peeking his way in to the picture. Craig Popgris is running hard there, and he's going to try everything he can to make the main event today. David Bird as well, trying to do his best to stay. Wow, Can Engage making another mistake. This is going to force the bubble spot to get even more exciting on this final lap. Wow, that line those 3 were running back there looked hairy. All in the meantime, Jacob out front leading over Taden Bergeron. Oh, and there's a caution. I hope I was able to do that in time. We will see how that works. The caution happened with driver Luke getting spun out. He collided with the 15 of Kenyon Hall. This also looks to collect the 35 of Kat Durham. I don't know if we were able to implement it in time. I don't think it's going to add laps to this race. The flagger was waving the white flag, and we can see that the caution was already in place. The only way we'll see is if this happens to add a lap or not. If it doesn't add a lap, then you're looking at the transfers of Jacob Schangle, Taden Berggren, Will Turner, Chips, Jessica Hergeson, Cannon Gage, and David Bird. And that's all she wrote. The checkered flag is waving in hand. Wait. Nope, 12 of 14, so we will get a green-white checkered attempt. Don't mind the checkered flag waving in the air. We will get a green-white checkers attempt here to determine who is going into the main event today. I've never seen that before in all of my NR 2003. Lights are off, and we'll see them go double file up. This all happened because the caution had come out before the leader took the white flag. All in the name of drama here at Kyalami. Really, this is just going to play out to hinder a couple of the drivers at the back here that thought they were safe and locked in. All they had to do was take the white flag and they would have been safe, but now they're going to have to put their position at risk again and hope for the best. David Bird and Cannon Gage definitely want to make it into the main event here today, but you also got some hungry drivers behind them like Craig Popgris and Reggie Fogelman. Chasey Plays. Santi Messi's been hanging in pretty solid. Things are going to get looks like we're going to start single file on this restart, so at least that's going to help them a little bit. Pace truck lights are off, so I got to imagine they're going to pull off. Single file, yeah, they're what are they doing? Man, I don't know, guys. I must have broke the game. Yep, they're retiring, so I did not get to hit the green-white checker button in time, which is okay. It's perfectly fine, actually. Being the sprint qualifier, I'm not too concerned about that, so. We did see some carnage and wrecks here, and no, that says 12 of 14. That's simply a mishap on the game, so. Sprint qualifier, your transfers are Jacob Schangle, Taden Berggren, Will Turner, Skylark Chips, Jessica Hergeson, Cannon Gage, and David Bird. So congratulations to Cannon Gage on making it to his first main event here. It's going to be a shame for most that failed just to make the main event here. Craig Popkris, Reggie Fogelman, Chasey Plays, Gannon Bird, Enheiser Walkner, Josh Drake, Noah Hobson, Daniel Paulus. Daniel Paulus had a good run here yesterday in the Busch Series, so decent day, decent week at least still for him, but going to come up short here making the main event today.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Hi, buddy. Nice long day. We're right here to support you. Get a test with you. Get a good finish out.
So now we've got a long green flag run and things are kind of starting to stretch out here. Drivers are trying to conserve their tires and make the most of this long green flag run. Potentially this is going to push them into green flag pit stops if we don't get a caution. But the impressive part is the top three are still within a bundle at the front here. And this is a fight that ain't going to go away. I think we're going to see this fight all day here for the whole 57 laps that are being contested. Amongst these three, our fastest lap belongs to Trevor Walker, but not by much, as Jordan Walker had a very close to identical fast lap to his brother. And then Tim Cording only about 1/10 off of that, so it's so nice that Bradley Ream was able to number his truck after the position he was running in. It didn't always happen where you had a driver running in the position similar to their number. Oh, and there we go, another one. Amp Me Person, the 13 truck, running in 13th. Avery Farrell almost back to his number position on track. Maggie Reams and Colton Smith running pretty close to theirs. It looks like Maggie Reams lost position to Zach Armstrong, so the 34 truck running in 34th right now. Even the 38 truck is one spot off of being 38. 42 is up 2 spots from 42nd. But then you got the 21, the 10, and the 50 running 1, 2, and 3. Trevor Walker earlier this season already has won in the Truck Series at Brands Hatch. And we all know all too well that they've put all their research and development into the road course packages. It's kind of neat to see his brother hanging in there strong at the front with him. That kind of comes as a surprise, as they were trying to put all of his ducks into speedway or short track development. Tim Cording making a move there for second. This is going to get interesting going into turn 1. And Tim Cording looks like he's going to secure that position pretty easily. Tires wearing off now, definitely making a difference in the long run. As now Tim Cording has his sights set on trying to chase down Trevor Walker. Definitely, with this long green flag run, you got to expect green flag pit stops to being a factor here. And really, what it's going to come down to is how it's going to affect the running order. You can see Matthew Fastnot is fighting position there. That's going to put him up to 11th. Al Bunch back to 12th. Ryan Little definitely still very fresh in the USA trucks, but having really good outings here. Top 10s, top 15s. He's got the power from the Walker brothers under that engine, under the hood. And the perks of joining a team that's really dominant, getting full benefits here in that number 20 truck. Going into turn 1, it looks like Fastnot, he peeks in but doesn't make a move as the 20 way out braked him there, braking late into the first turn. Oh, we got a caution? Who brought out the caution? Oh, Gavin Legend gets spun out towards the end of the track here. Wow, it was a single truck spin. He just lost traction there, slamming into the wall. Almost collected the 28 with him. Yeah, single truck spinner is going to bring out the caution here at Kyalami. It's going to make things interesting for the trio at the front. Green flag pit stops are not going to be a factor now for at least this stint, as everyone's going to likely come into pit road and take fresh tires and a full tank of gas. They're all coming down pit road this time, which is per strategy. We're going to have to see how they fare on pit road and how it shakes up the running order. As we can see in this camera, the front of the pit road, 21 makes it off first. Tim Cording, Bradley Ream, Chaz Chadwick, Jack Ross. Man, and a lot of changes. Atlee Weiss is still stuck on pit road. Jordan Walker as well, still having a long time on pit road. New third place, we've got Bradley Ream. In fourth, we've got Chaz Chadwick, Jack Ross, Matthew Fastnot, Al Bunch. Ooh, and a good shakeup for Cannon Gage as he gains a bunch of spots here. Krista Cower, Jessica Hergeson, Chips, Brian DeBlank now up into the top 15. Ouch, the 14 drops really far back. Ewan What Army was running way up in the order, now way down in the order. Aunt Me Person stays about the same. They're double filing up for the restart already. And Jordan Walker is off pit road and Atlee Weiss, so they're going to have to come from the very back alongside Ryan Little, even Will Turner. And they've barely even been able to catch up to the back of the pack, as you can see there. So this is going to spell chaos for the restart. As you can see, we've got some fast trucks in the back now. I'm just trying to wait and see if they're actually going to get caught back up to the back of the field. It'll be close enough, I think. Yeah, pace truck's off. They're going to get going here. Tim Cording and Trevor Walker. And they're going to try to fan out behind them. Who's going to get the lead going into turn one here? Is Tim Cording going to surprise Trevor Walker? Trevor Walker looks like he's going to maintain the status quo here. Oh, and we got another caution already. Ah, shame. It's going to be our fast trucks that were already at the back of the field. They must have tried to make a move with that extra speed that they had carrying into turn one. Oh, shoot. Ooh, the 20 just did not know that Atlee was there. They didn't collect anyone else, but that's a shame for Atlee. As Ryan Little and Atlee Weiss, their day just went from bad to worse. And of course, they're going to have to race back to the start-finish line. Bradley Ream in second. Tim Cording in third. Jack Ross in fourth. Chadwick in fifth. Krista Cower sixth. Fastnot seventh. Al Bunch eighth. Chips ninth. Ewan What Army back up to 10th after being outside of the top 15. We need to look and see how he made that happen. From 14th place on the inside line there. How does he make this happen? Makes up 1, 2, 3. 3 spots right there. Coming into this turn as the caution's already waving. He's going to try to make another spot up on the high side, it even looks like. Nope, he's going to make the pass on the inside. Dang, there's some good racing on the restarts here. So, just like the old saying goes, cautions breed cautions. I don't know if Atlee's going to have too much damage to fare on that. These four drivers still very far at the back of the field. It's crazy how they haven't been able to catch back up. The damage on that 20 could be substantial enough for retirement. We'll have to see. Looks like they're going to try to repair the 20. And the 19 looks like they're going to try to repair the 19 as well. No retirement from them yet. Yep, 19's going to go back out there. So is the 20. So they're going to have to catch back up to the back of the field. As it ain't going to take... Wow, how did Brinker get so damaged? Oh wow, they weren't able to get woed up for the caution apparently. Darn. That's a bummer for Brinker as he's trying to climb up the point standings and get a good showing for this year. Not out of the race, obviously. There's a lot that could happen. We could see a big one take out a bunch of drivers. They're double filed up, pace truck off. This time it's Bradley Ream and Trevor Walker on the front row for the restart. Ooh, look at Chadwick, just got a huge jump there. Chadwick's going to make it 3 wide going into the first turn. This could be disastrous. He lays off thinking better of it. Trevor's just got that turn nailed as he keeps the lead yet again, like clockwork. Tim Cording fighting for second. Al Bunch and Jack Ross in the picture there behind them, as well as Chadwick. Chadwick trying to force the envelope here. We're green at least for now, so they've been able to get back to some clean racing as they're 2x2x2 behind them. Ooh, Andrew Moger just got slammed into the wall back there. We're going to have to see just how much carnage that has created. So if we rewind back to the moment we can see the 74. He's just way up high there. I don't know if anyone else pushed him out of the lane. Just kind of loses traction. This puts him up into the grass, and then once you're in the grass, you're in no man's land. Wow, not as bad as I had thought it was going to be. He did hit the wall pretty good there. But everyone else seemed to woe up and avoid the wreck. So good wreck avoidance on the rest of the field there. As they're still passing by the 42. And here's where we've been having our issues as the pace truck comes out. Way under paced. These trucks are going way too fast. And that pace truck does not set a good pace, bunching them all way the heck up. Looks like we might have been able to avoid too much fender benders here on this pace truck endeavor. They're getting back up to speed now. Stretching it back out. So the Busch race yesterday went caution free. We're already on our third caution here with the USA trucks at the exact same venue. At this point, we haven't been able to get very many extended runs since the initial wreck, so the drivers, I don't believe, need to pit. It's going to be interesting to see if they even have to pit at all for the rest of this one, the way the cautions keep coming. Alrighty, lights are off on the pace truck again, and let's see if we have any retirements from the race so far. No official retirements yet. Andrew Moger still running even after that escapade off track that he had. Looks like he's going to rejoin the field at the back. And now we've actually got a repeat restart as we've got Trevor and Bradley leading the field yet again. All the other restarts have had different partners at the front of the field. We'll see if Bradley maybe learned something from his last restart and might be able to capitalize on it. Keeping his nose out there pretty far, but Trevor, wow, just with the run. Al Bunch sneaking out of line there, trying to get onto the inside. Man, Trevor Walker again with the lead. Al Bunch up to 4th. Bradley Ream on the inside of that turn. That's going to put him up to 2nd. Al Bunch up to 3rd. Tim Cording back to 4th. A lot of hustle and bustle for position out here right now. As Trevor Walker continues to stun the field with his road course expertise. But now he's got some interesting contenders there behind him. Bradley Ream would definitely like to try and steal the win away from him. Al Bunch, who seems to always find his way into the fold each and every week. Tim Cording is kind of fell behind a little bit here, but it looks like he might try to get that position back from Al Bunch going into turn 1. Al Bunch outbreaks him and keeps the position. And you got Chadwick, Fastnot, and Jack Ross right there behind him. This is an interesting top 6. I think Bradley Ream is putting it together now. As you can see, he's trying to chase down the 21. We're getting a little bit lengthier green flag run here after we had those consecutive cautions plague us for a while. Tim Cording trying to make that move happen again as he's sneaking inside. Al Bunch gonna have to lift here, and that gives Tim Cording back the position. Tim Cording back into 3rd. Lap times, let's compare. Bradley Ream had a 119.2 to Trevor Walker's 119.0. Fastnot trying to make a move here on Chadwick. If only we could figure out how to make this caliber race every week. The Busch race was great and all, but not as electric as we're seeing here today with the trucks. There is a lot of sliding around and overall different lines being run here amongst the truck drivers, which is making for a spectacle to behold. And unlike the Busch series where the leader drove away and no one had a shot at catching him, between these two, Trevor Walker just had a bad lap and Bradley Ream had a fast lap, so the leader's not able to get away like they did in the Busch race yesterday. Funny part being is the fact Trevor Walker was the guy out front leading, and he's still managed to find his way to leading this one. Al Bunch in 4th, Chadwick in 5th, Fastnot in 6th, Jack Ross in 7th, Krista Cower in 8th. Then you got Ant Me Person, Ewan What Army, Chips, Brian DeBlanc with a 12th place run so far. He had a great day yesterday, finishing 3rd, I believe, if I remember correctly, in the Busch car, giving Audi some research and development in the series. Driving the Ford here in the trucks, and not half bad. This is a good showing for him. Can engage after finally breaking through the Sprint Qualifiers to make the main event. This is going to be a good showing for him in the top 15. Nathan Morgan, Jacob Shangle, Zach Armstrong, who's had everything working against him today, has found his way up into the top 20. Will Turner has had a rough faring towards the second half of this race. He's having to work through a lot of traffic to get back to where he was running in the top 15. Even Atlee's making some passes. He's come from at least 40th up to 26th here. Perhaps with a couple cautions and some good timely strategy, he could find his way back up into a better position than where he's running now. Man, these leaders are running such competitive times. It's so close. So close. Just a little bit past halfway now, and got another good lengthy green flag run going. Trevor Walker has not looked back as he's continued to lead so many laps here. Kyalami. He's going to want to put Kyalami as one of his favorite tracks to come to each year. And honestly, this kind of raises the question, maybe Trevor Walker should be out there with the Cup guys tomorrow. If he gets two segments of the weekend, third segment would be a sweep. He'd still have to get that ride secured, but anything's possible, and it would be really neat to see him start in the Cup race and try for the clean sweep if possible, you know. Still has 26 laps to go here. A lot of racing. And I'm certain that there's going to be at least one more pit stop for these guys. Chadwick making the pass here on Al Bunch. See if it'll stick going into turn one. Al Bunch lifted just a bit there, and Chadwick's going to be able to capitalize, moving Chadwick now up to 5th. No, correction, 4th. Trevor Walker is stretching out his lead a little bit more here as Bradley Ream has fallen behind. Tim Cording in third. What Army getting into the top 10 again. Fighting Krista Cower for ninth. Looks like that's going to pass. And we've got a lot of stretched out runs here as everyone is spread out through the field. Atlee Weiss back up to 24th, so huge improvement for him. It seems that that truck is not all that damaged after all. Majority of our points leaders still in great contention here. Even Matthew Fastnot up to 5th. Great run for him. Ooh, and we got another caution on track. Ooh, no, the Moger Mobile got in another incident here. Oh, and it wasn't even of his doing. Ryan Little and Veers. Veers just drives into the side of Ryan Little, and oh, Moger had nowhere to go. It's probably going to put an end to a couple drivers' days here. It's going to make for another decent restart. I imagine most of the drivers are probably going to pit this time by and get their last round of fresh tires and, yep, gas. Look at as everyone's swerving to come down pit road. This should put them about good to go to the rest of the laps in the race. Let's save the replay real quick. And so let's see, yeah, the 01 is retired, the 20 retired, and the 74 of Andrew Moger retired, all from that accident. So we're down to 39 trucks left running, and about 21 laps to go. It'll be 20 laps to go on the restart. Ooh, wow, Cash comes out with the lead here. Perhaps with a money stop. I don't know if they took gas only. This is a bold move, as this should be good enough to go the rest of the way with what gas they got. Without fresh tires, I don't know how they're gonna really fare on the restart here. Trevor Walker looks like he's gonna have to fight back from a little bit of adversity here, as Trevor Walker, our leader, has fallen way back in the running. He must have had a bad pit stop. There he is, all the way back, probably in the mid-30s. So how the heck did that happen? Comes down pit road. Takes 2 left. Takes 2 right. Stays on pit road. Must be doing some extra repairs to the truck. As everyone else, yeah, both Walker brothers come out tail end of the field, basically. As they're stacking up for the restart, let's get back to the front here. This is going to be interesting. This restart could be a huge telltale on how it's going to unfold here. Cash alongside Bradley Ream. Then you got Matthew Fastnot and Chadwick behind them. Cash with a killer start as they come barreling down into turn 1. Cash just fresh off their win at Daytona. This could be an interesting surprise here today. Even Matthew Fastnot into second. Bradley Ream falling back to third. So this whole race is turned upside down, topsy-turvy, with that round of pit stops that totally makes a difference here. Man, it's going to suck for the Walker brothers having to race through all of the slower, damaged vehicles in the back. And this is one surefire way to get yourself into a wreck. And now it seems Atlee Weiss is back in the, same ballpark of Trevor Walker. You gotta imagine there must have been something like a fuel leak, line damage that they had to pull the hood open and make extensive repairs under that caution. It's not likely that you ever see the leader get shuffled all the way to the back of the field like this. With his work cut out for him. At the front of the field right now, it's Cash and Matthew Fastnot. And we've only got 19 laps to go. Some of your fastest trucks not in contention here with 19 laps to go. They're having to fight their way back to the front. Damn, look at 68 is Zach Armstrong into the top 10. Ewan Wood Army has been able to maintain a solid position all day. Top 10 there as well. And Cannon Gage in his first ever start. Going to be a good run for him. Brian DeBlank continuing to just run solid here. Stay in the top 20. Oh, and this lead is just now changed as Cash, I can only imagine with the less fresher tires, got overhauled here. Yeah, look at the 09 of Fastnot with a push from Bradley Ream. It looks like unfair advantage for the 09 truck as he blows by the 07 truck with ease on the front stretch. Driving into turn 1, Cash loses plenty of positions here as they fall back to 4th. Bradley Ream up to 2nd. Matthew Fastnot with the lead. I'm just trying to get it fast forward back to live. So now your new running order. Matthew Fastnot, Bradley Ream, Chaz Chadwick, Cash, Al Bunch, chips Zach Armstrong, but not for long as Armstrong trying to push his way through the 113. Due in part to the slow traffic of the 07 truck. Those tires are going to be detrimental to finishing this race. Whoa, the 113 slams into the wall there. Zach Armstrong able to capitalize as he's on the outside trying to make the pass. Now he's on the inside line and should be able to secure that position. That should put... Wow, and there's another fight for the lead as Bradley Ream puts an aggressive move on the 09 of Fastnot. Fastnot still holding strong on the outside, but to no avail. Another caution is this racing has been something else today. They race back to the line, and it looks like Bradley Ream is gonna lead at the caution here. Gotta try to figure out what brought this caution out. Ooh, there's a... Oh, and these were drivers in the top 15 that this happened. The 113 of Chips gets run into here by Krista Cower. Oh, and gets some air as he slams into the catch fence. Chips was running 6th. Krista Cower was running in 7th. Ooh. Oh, and more trucks were involved in this mess. The 98 stuck on the brim there. The 22 of Dave Steele just had nowhere to go. Power sliding into the 98 truck. Tough day for the 113 who was looking to have a great run going up until that point. With 16 laps to go, it looks like Cash is going to learn from their mistake of not taking tires. Come down pit road and get some fresh tires. Trevor Walker has managed to get his way back up into 17th so far. 17th, still 16 spots away from where he'd been running all day. Must admit that is a pretty impressive run to come from the back all the way up to 17th. Zach Armstrong is going to come out here looking like a champ. Top 5 right now. Anything can happen on these restarts that are chaotic as all hell. But survival of the fittest, he's been able to make some good positions. Most of you don't know it, as I've been very good at hiding it, but the broadcast did crash once on me earlier today, and this is my 3rd attempt at getting everything worked out. So hopefully Well, obviously, if you're hearing this, that means that we're probably good. Knock on wood. There were some mild tweaks that I forgot to make with the race here, and looks like everything's going to turn out just fine. Front of the field, we got Matthew Fastnot, Bradley Ream, Al Bunch, and Chaz Chadwick. Then you've got Ewan Wood Army, Zach Armstrong, Ant Me Person, Cannon Gage, and even Jacob Shangle up into the top 10, alongside Nathan Morgan. Gonna watch from a different perspective here on this restart to see just how crazy it could be. You can see just about every truck in this angle here in the spectator camera. As Bradley Ream and Matthew Fastnot taking it to the start-finish line here. Green flag waves. Fastnot has an edge on Bradley Ream here. Going down into the front straight. Is it going to be Fastnot or is it going to be Bradley Ream by just a hair? And now we got Zach Armstrong working his way up to second. Even Cannon Gage within the top 5 could be a factor here in the closing laps. Fastnot blows by the 68 truck to settle back into second. Bradley Ream definitely has been a shocker here. I think the one we want to watch is the 21 of Trevor Walker and see just how many spots he's making up on these runs. He was 17th on the restart. He's already into the top 15. Clearly has the fastest truck today. And it would be the most impressive run if he could somehow find his way back up to the front. Yet again, it comes down to a little bit of luck and maybe even some cautions to fall his way here. But right now, he's fighting with Brian DeBlanc to get back into the top 13 on track. Good run for Brian DeBlanc. As you can see, there's a whole boggle of cars in front of them that could definitely get wrecked out or make a mistake, and then Trevor Walker would be able to capitalize. With only 13 laps to go, though, it's going to be a do or die here before you know it. Trevor and Jordan both making the field look like chumps at the back here, as they both had to adjust. Oh, the 50 of Tim Cording hits the wall hard. Woo! Doesn't look like anyone else gets collected. But this may as well bring out, yep, it's going to bring out another caution, and that's going to give the Walker brothers another opportunity to catch back up to the front of the field. Yeah, we just got a little bit more information in. Both of them had a faulty part that one of the other teammates had noted from one of their pit stops. And as a safety precaution, both the 21 and the 10 changed those parts so that they could, make it to the finish here today. It's crazy that they've still had the speed even after making that pit stop. But let's see exactly what happened here for poor old Tim Cording, who has had a good run going up to this point. Was it involved with another truck on track? Oh, the 14 of What Army just dive bombed in there, slamming him into the wall. Ooh, the 89 and the 94 get into the wall as well. Let's follow along on the in-car camera of the 14 to see exactly how this came out. It looks like he just got loose. Wow, yeah, he was slideways going into that turn there. Yet again, more and more cautions. This race is going to extend on longer than even the Busch race, and it's shorter. Shorter in distance, but longer due to cautions. This was definitely the caution that the Walker brothers needed to try and catch back up to the front of the field. As you can see, a lot of trucks with damage towards the back. Atlee's worked his way back up to 19th, not half bad. There you go, Trevor Walker in 14th and Jordan Walker in 13th. '14 truck looks like it's wearing a little bit of a badge of damage there from contact with the 50. Lights should go off on the pace truck this time around, and then we'll get back to going with 10 laps to go. Still a possibility that we could get a green-white checkers here today. If this is any indicator, we might be in for one hell of a show with the Cup guys tomorrow. This truck race has definitely been a classic for many varying factors, as we had Trevor Walker out front fighting with brother Jordan Walker, and now things have kind of mashed up to where we've got a whole new front at the field, and we might get a first-time surprise winner amongst these guys. We might get a veteran returning winner. You know, Chadwick there in the second row, he's definitely hungry to get another win. He hasn't won for quite a while in the USA Truck Series. Brian DeBlanc there, he's still within reach of the top of the field. So you got some drivers with a good restart could get back in contention to winning this. Even Trevor Walker and Jordan Walker. We're back and going, and man, Matthew Fastnot got one hell of a start that Bradley Ream even had to settle in behind him during the lengthy of the front, the front straight there. Chadwick gonna get by Bradley for second, and they're all bunched up there behind him. Bradley and Chad fighting hard. Chadwick and Bradley. Zach Armstrong up to fourth, and then Cannon Gage up to fifth. Still think the ones to watch will be the 21 and the 10. Oh, and the 21 just made side contact with the 61. They're going 3 wide into the worst possible zone that they could go 3 wide. And they somehow managed to stick it without wrecking. Trevor on the outside making passes, trying to pass 2 on the inside there. It ain't going to work quite as well as he was expecting. But now he's got the advantage of the long front straight here to try and build up a lot of speed to get around them. I think Trevor actually lost ground on that restart. Well, he actually maintained. He stayed 14th. Started 14th, came back up to 14th. Jordan Walker in 11th, making a move here on What Army. Lead belongs to Matthew Fastnot as Chadwick and Bradley Ream look to try and pass him for the win here. It's going to be 8 laps to go at the line. Trevor Walker was able to get by a few more drivers, putting him up to 12th now. And him and his brother running nose to tail here should be able to pick off a few more drivers. And that's why we call this, this thing a race. That's why we run them. Your best truck may not always be the one to pull off the victory here. And Trevor Walker and Jordan Walker definitely have got to be feeling it here. They had the win in their sights, and the team was able to inform them that there was a faulty part in the truck that gave them an opportunity to repair it. You can think of it this way: if that part was to give up on them, they'd be looking at about a 38th place finish. In the meantime, they're still fighting for position to get even better than where they're running right now. So there's always a plus side to everything. And regardless of having it ripped away from you, it's definitely better than finishing dead last on the field. Front of the field definitely heating up now, as we even got Ant Meeperson cracking his way up to 4th here. You've got 1 Toyota followed by 4 Dodges. And we all know how well the Dodges have run this year, so this is going to turn into a Dodge brigade trying to find their way to the front. At the line, we're going to have 6 laps to go, and heck, we even have potentially a rematch from Fontana earlier this year between Chadwick and Ream. This could be a redemption match between those two if they could. Wow, Ream just blows by the 09 truck going into turn 1 there. And Chadwick wants a shot at it too, as he gets by the 09 of Fastnot. Ant Meeperson might make a move as well. But right now it's between Chadwick and Ream. These two ended up finishing 1-2 at the season opener. As they run right now, Ream took the victory at Fontana and bested Chadwick by 1 spot. Chadwick's currently our points leader, so Bradley Ream would love to stay in front of him and try to get as much max points as possible on the points leader. Although not very much, it's still going to keep Chadwick from getting a good portion of points from winning. 5 laps to go at the line here. We continue green, and wow, Chadwick looks like he's mounting a charge here. The lap times was a 119.6. Compare that to a 120.1. So Chadwick was definitely on the slower end of that one. But Fastnod ain't going away. As you can see, it's a 4-truck fight for the win here. With 5 laps to go. Still would like to see where Trevor Walker has worked his way back up to. Fighting now with Nathan Morgan for position. This would put him up to 11th. Heck, even Zach Armstrong could make it into the picture at the front of the field here. Al Bunch ain't going away. Chadwick is calculating his moves. Oh, and we've got another caution. It might be the 38. This should give us as many laps to finish under regulation here at least. Yep, the 38 and the 50 got in another wreck. 38, almost identical to the way the 14 wrecked earlier. Tim Cording must just be a truck magnet in that turn. So now it's going to be mano-y-mano as the pace truck will run around on caution 1 lap. That'll put us at lap 54. We'll get the restart on lap 55 of 57. We're going to have to be watching for that yellow light in case we have to trigger a green-white checker here in the series. Let's just hope that we don't have to trigger a green-white checkers and that they can race for it the rest of the way here. This gives Trevor Walker his one less opportunity to try and catch up, as he's currently running in 12th. Anything can happen going into turn 1 there. So buckle up, make your picks, and get ready for a good old-fashioned shootout to decide the winner here today. Turn 1 is going to be very detrimental in determining who comes out of this victorious, I do believe. If someone can get out of turn 1 with the lead, that's going to be a huge advantage to getting the job done here today. Every restart has been just a little different than the other, and we've seen all kinds of chaotic craziness happen going into that first turn. Amazingly, we have not seen a wreck going into turn 1. All the wrecks have happened right here in this little swift right-hander back to the front straight. Pace truck's going to pull off here as Chadwick and Ream is going to take the field to what may very well be the last restart in the race here. Now with the pace truck off, it's all up to the drivers to bring this one home. Green flag waves, and Chadwick has an edge on Bradley Ream on the outside. Fast not thinking about trying to dive into the inside, but not able to pull it off here as Bradley Ream carries it into the lead. Zach Armstrong on the inside, potentially moving his way up into a better finishing position. As they stay green a little bit into this run, you got the 13 of Ant Me person making some moves in the background. Still green as we're going to take the 2 to go at the finish line. Bradley Ream starting to slowly drive away from Chadwick. It's do or die now as Chadwick's going to have to try and mount a charge with only 2 laps to go. This front straight has been the game changer all day as it seems like all the speed can be made up right here. Then diving into turn 1, as you can see, Chadwick trying to mount a comeback. Within range, that was, they had, you got to imagine at this point their tires are feeling wore out. They're not running as competitive of laps as they've been running all day. And that could also lead to a mistake. You could see Bradley Ream make a mistake in the lead here even. Chadwick still closing up on the rear bumper as we still continue to stay green. So these guys, it looks like we're going to go and catch the white flag here. And then it'll finish the race regardless. We won't have to deal with a green-white checkers. Stays green. And they are waving. I might have missed it again, so. Oh, Lord. They took the white flag there. It really does come down to where I hit that button. If I hit the button at the right time, And I'm afraid I didn't, because it would have been right about. We'll see. Yet again, we are wrecking as they almost take. I was so close. We were so close to making it without another wreck. And I was really hoping to see it race its way to the finish here. And there you go. There was the wreck. The 81 of 94 ending up on his roof. Wow, the 81 just drove into the 94 there. As he spins like a top. That collected the 42 as well. Oh, and let's see. We'll be able to tell here if the race is final. Or if I was able to hit the button in time. Does look like the checkered flag is waving. And I think we're going to have the exact same situation that we had in our sprint qualifier, where I just was not able to press it in time. So unless lights turn off on the pace truck, it's looking like our finishing order will be Bradley Ream with the potential win here, Chadwick in second, Matthew Fastnot in third, Zach Armstrong in fourth, Ant Meeperson in fifth, Al Bunch in sixth, Ewan Wood Army in seventh, Jack Ross in eighth, Nathan Morgan in ninth, and Jordan Walker coming back for a top 10. Atlee Weiss back up for an 11th. Trevor Walker 12th. Jacob Shangle 13th. Will Turner 14th. Cannon Gage 15th. Cash 16th. Jack Davis 17th. Brian DeBlank 18th. Philip Leeds 19th. Maggie Reams 20th. Colton Smith, Jessica Hergeson, Avery Farrell, David Bird, Tim Hansen, Tim Cording, Connor Cooper, John Brinker, Tyler Disharoon, Taden Berggren, Luis Rodriguez, and Chris Hergeson. And it's official. Your winner here today, getting his second consecutive, well, not consecutive, but second official win in the USA Truck Series, is Bradley Ream. As we are still having to figure out how to make this green-white checkers thing work to perfection in the series. Like I mentioned earlier, it's not exactly intended for NR 2003, but we tried and we learned. You got to be able to click it right away to get it to work. I probably should have implemented it on the last restart, but at least the same rule applied with the sprint qualifier that ended up ultimately affecting the final outcome of the main event. So Congratulations to Bradley Ream, and I do apologize sincerely for all the confusion and unclarity here in the series that we had today. Next on, it will be the Cup Series right here, and who knows how that's going to turn out. And Bradley Ream is definitely making a bid for championship in this series. Chadwick is going to have his hands full for the championship this year. And yet again, we're probably going to look back at this race and think what could have happened, but if anything was an indicator, I don't think another lap would have made a difference for Chadwick, even a restart. It looked like Bradley Ream had the truck to beat here in the last run at the end of it. Other than Trevor Walker and Jordan Walker, who had to fight their way back up through the field. Great run for Bradley Ream, and this is going to be a fun battle all the way to the end for the series. So, thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. We had another spectacular race here in the Truck Series, and hopefully it continues on throughout the rest of the season. So, catch you on the flip side.